Hi guys, welcome to another vlog. My name is Joshua Roy P. de Rojas from 11 St. Jean de la Salle, Ibem Strand, under the supervision of Miss Joanna Marie Aswillo. So let's get started with my speech. So, good day to all. Please watch till the end of this advocacy speech. So, the quote that I encountered making this speech was, God gave us all what we took it for granted. So, so what is environment? Environment is a surrounding in which we live, and it has a source of life. I would like to express my own view to our environment. It has been recognized that our environment is not as before. They say that there has a drastic changes that comes in an environment since few years, such as climate changes, increment in natural disasters, and etc. All due to our changing lifestyle. So our environment facing a lot of problems right now, like global warming and acid rain, climate change, and etc. again. So how do humans can protect and care our nature if people kept their attitude for being lazy? How do we enforce the killers of the sea? How do we enforce the illegal loggers, the hunters? How do we stop killing animals? How do we protect the endangered species and the places that has pollution? How do we save the sea and the oceans? How do we supposed to see the real beauty of the nature if we are careless? How do future generations see it? Why do people keep mining illegally? To protect our mother nature, our environment, we must have a unity in making our own home a proper home. So, this is a few things that we might can do to save our nature. First, reduce, reuse, recycle. Second, volunteer for cleanups in your community. Third, educate yourself. Fourth, conserve water. Fifth, save electricity rather. Six, plant a tree. Seven, don't send chemical in our waterways. 8. Discipline yourself. 9. Bike more to be healthy or exercise more. So, by doing that, we can save the earth, and having discipline to yourself is a big help to save our mother nature. And to help us discipline, we need the cooperation of the government officials, the barangay officials, and the Department of Environment and Natural Resources officials, and etc. to discipline the humans or the people. Because our environment is a natural world that has surrounds us. It is important to keep it clean in order to live healthy and peaceful life. It's very important to explore the various types of pollution and the development of all living things. The contamination of the living environment leads to the deaths of the entire natural ecosystem. There are many approaches to garbage utilization, leads, but most of the poor countries just don't have enough money to introduce such up-to-date technologies. Air pollution is another humanity's challenge. The air we breathe has contaminated because of the uncontrolled release of harmful vehicular and industrial smoke. Burning fuels, nitrogen oxides, sulfur dioxides, carbon monoxides, and chemical vapors are the major pollutants of the air. And our environment also suffers from noise pollution, which has negative effects on people and wild species. So, the environment plays a significant role in making our existence and planet possible. Everything we use to live, full of life, comes under the environment. We just can't live without air, water, plants, sunlight, animals, and other living things. Everything we use to live, a full of life, comes under the environment, and it has become a major worldwide issue, which cannot be solved by the effort of one. We should do our best in order to not put the end of the existence of all living things on earth, because every person used the components of the environment to fulfill their basic needs of living, and we should stop polluting and challenging our national resources to ensure sustainable living conditions for future generations. And we have to control the emissions of greenhouse gases strictly to save our environment from the threat of global warming, and everything that surrounds us is referred to as our environment. And actions human lives closer to natural environment, and therefore they live healthier and longer. And it would hardly require the second thought and conclude that this self-made artificial environment of ours is a harmful creation, and not only we are breathing pollution but also doing considerable damage to nature. The natural environment plays a great role in the existence of life on earth, and it helps human beings, animals, and other living things to grow and develop naturally. It is the most important topic that everyone must know how to protect our mother nature, to keep safe forever, as well as ensure the nature's balance on this planet to continue the existence of life. Harmful substances, contaminants affecting the environment constitute environmental pollution. All types of pollution, such as air pollution, noise pollution, water pollution, light pollution, soil pollution, thermal pollution, radioactive pollution, and others, comes under the broader category of environmental pollution. If we want to save environment, then we should stop exploitation of natural resources. Using this resource continuously is very important to save the environment. Our natural environment makes human lives possible, and our cultural environment help define who we are. It is therefore essential that our population and economic growth are environmentally sustainable. The most positive outlook for environment is one in which we get the balance right. And we have explored some major global environmental issues, in particular our dependence on the exploitation of the fossil fuel, and have to outline some of the fundamental constraints on the ability of the environment to absorb the resultant emissions and waste products. This is some information about our environment we are biologically predisposed to provide for our offspring, and may try to ensure that this provision continues after our death. However, how interaction with other members of society are wide-ranging, and many people leave legacies to benefit the wider community. All species alter their environment to some extent because they do not live in isolation from one another. The study of the interactions between plants, animals, and their environment is known as ecology. The relationship between plants and animals can be expressed as food chains and food webs. In both cases, the primary producers are plants, and they provide all the energy within the system by a process called photosynthesis. This system can support fewer carnivores than herbivores because energy is lost from the one trophic level to the next. This idea is shown diagrammatically as a pyramid of numbers because relationships within food web are variable and complex. We cannot accurately predict the effect of losing one species from the web. Human activity has been responsible for some extinction and other deleterious changes to habitats. These changes have not always been the result of thoughtless or selfish behavior. Often intentions were worthy but outcomes were not as predicted. The importance of genetic diversity is demonstrated here in relation to Dutch elm disease. The need of relative genetic sandbank appeal pollution damages organisms including ourselves. The link between air pollution and health is hard to quantify. It has to be extrapolated from epidemiological studies, and it's complicated because susceptibilities vary. Many pollutants are produced by industrial process, and it is expensive to reduce their emissions into the environment. There are also difficulties in predicting the long-term effects of climate of airborne pollutants such as CFCs and carbon dioxide. These scientific uncertainties, together with the financial constraints, make it difficult to obtain international cooperation to reduce emissions. Not all pollutants are byproducts of industry. Some, such as pesticides and certain plastics, were developed to improve the quality of life. So these are some tips that might can help to stop pollution. So stop using gas cars, stop using fuels, stop using fuels in factories, stop using gas, stop using gas cars, stop using gas cars, stop using fuels, stop using gas in the factories because it can damage our ozone layer. Stop using dynamite and stop the dynamite fishing because it may can kill many fish lives, and it may can damage to our health also because we eat the fish. And that's all for today. Thank you for listening and watching this advocacy speech. Thank you. Bye bye.